Blitz.
Me, Mario.
Yahoo!
Woohoo! Let's go. Let's have fun. Nintendo. Oh yeah.
Alrighty, good morning everyone. Happy Friday here at the station of WUMD. You are listening to Nintenbros Fridays at 9 a.m. hosted by me, Chris.
And Josh.
And Noah should be on his way pretty soon. Hopefully he's going to be walking in momentarily. We will be having some music playing once I turn that slider down so we don't blast everybody's ears out and trying to hear me and everybody else. So, what we've got going on is a lot of stuff that's happened over the past 2 weeks. We were off last week for Thanksgiving, which happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates Thanksgiving, and hopefully everybody had a good amount of turkey and mashed potatoes and all that fun stuff. So I know I did. I know I got a chance to eat before I went to work, so that's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Josh?
Oh, no, I enjoyed leftovers from everybody because working is a pain, but that's okay though. I got some good food from from all of my families pretty much, so that's good. Yeah. But today we got the music selection playing from the Donkey Kong Country series. We have a lot of info over these last 2 weeks that has come out with Nintendo and everything, so we're going to be talking about a lot of that. Last week's show isn't up on YouTube just yet. It'll be up there probably right around noon today. I'll be putting it up there, so look for that on YouTube, and then make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube at Nintenbros Show. And hope everybody did get some good deals on some Black Friday stuff last week. I know I ended up getting a Switch game for $24, so I'm like, well, that's a good steal right there.
Oh yeah, I ended up getting your Christmas gift taken care of on Black Friday too. I kind of got off work and I was like, yeah, I saw this deal and I kind of probably should pick it up before I lose that opportunity. So your Christmas gift is covered, and
hooray.
Everybody else will be coming pretty soon, hopefully. As always, we've said this at every show, and it's going to continue to be true until it's not. We are not endorsed by Nintendo. This is our own opinions about things. We do not get sponsorships or anything like that. It is just the three of us just talking about whatever's going on in the world of Nintendo. So let's get right into that with the first point that we got on our list.
Yep. First part is you have Ukulele finally launching on the Switch December 14th. The pre-orders you'll be able to pre-order it on the eShop starting December 7th. And they claim that it's going to feature a quote-unquote shed load of polish and updates. So they didn't say what specifically with the updates, so it's something to kind of look forward to see what they got in store for Ukulele. At least, a lot of people were, initially looking forward to this game coming to the Switch. So that'll be here soon in December.
Yep. And we got another thing coming from Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which released last week, if I remember correctly, and so that's been pretty popular.
Yep, we have been updated to connection issues, because everyone initially, when they wanted it, everyone downloaded it, and the servers were like, well, crap.
Yeah, I guess the servers couldn't handle the volume of everybody getting on there, so
they went and updated it, and so far the game has crossed 15 million downloads worldwide, which is pretty crazy. Within the first 6 days, it's done, 15 million downloads. It's done more than that. Looking at comparatively to the other apps that Nintendo has out, Fire Emblem Heroes only did 7 million within its first 6 days worldwide, and Super Mario Run is winning, within the first 6 days at 32 million, because, it's Mario. But, even 15 million, that's half of the Mario. That's still pretty good. I know a lot of people that are playing Pocket Camp and are really liking it, especially definitely all the Animal Crossing lovers out there. So, it's definitely something that, I'm happy playing it. It's fun.
I haven't really had a chance to get into it just because I've been so busy with other things, but I did at least get through the initial stuff, and at least for me, I'm enjoying the game so far. It looks like it's going to be a game that I'll eventually enjoy once I actually get to it, sit down and get to it for an extended period of time. But we have found that data mining, we've got new villagers and furniture and more that are going to be coming to the system in future updates. Things like there are currently 11 new villagers and 76 new pieces of furniture, and then these furniture pieces are a mix of Christmas and New Year stuff, as well as clothing and extra furniture. So definitely some stuff to look forward to as we get into the beginnings of our experiences with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and hopefully going forward we'll continue to see good things coming from it.
Yeah, and with that too, before January happens, if you haven't gotten the game yet, get it. You'll be able to get 20 extra Leaf tickets, as a bonus, because Nintendo's like, yeah, we're sorry for the connection issues. Here, have some Leaf tickets, so that way you can use those to your advantage in the game. So that's pretty nice of them. So.
And then the next thing we've got, Pocket Camp is the most downloaded iOS app in 8 countries, and it's a top 10 grossing game in Japan. So aside from the US, the game is most downloaded in Japan, Canada, France, Germany, Spain, Austria, and Luxembourg. Furthermore, it's the top 10 most downloaded apps in the UK, Ireland, Switzerland, Italy, and Singapore. So, I mean, people are going crazy for Pocket Camp.
That's like what we've been saying. We definitely want an Animal Crossing on the Switch. So Nintendo, look at these numbers and say, hey, this is definitely something we want. So.
And of course, with the times, they've got a Christmas event going on, so you'll be able to get holiday-themed pieces of furniture by using candy canes to build them. To get these candy canes, you got to fulfill the requests of the animal campers in your game, or by playing Shovel Strike. There's a festive bow tree, a 3-ball snowman, a jingle fence, and other things. And then a special set of time goals have been released for a Santa hat, a Santa coat, Santa skirt, Santa pants, and Santa boots. So they've got a whole package as a limited timed goal for
Pocket Camp, yep.
Getting into the spirit of the holiday season.
And luckily enough for any of the Android users out there, they're using that as an advantage, I guess, because you're going to be able to get some exclusive clothes as a special login bonus from Google Play that allows you get a special Rainbow Isabelle tee, a Rainbow KK Slider tee, and a Rainbow cap. So these items will be available until January 7th, so make sure, if you have an Android, make sure to log in and go ahead and get these items.
So we can never get away from the news of Pokemon. It seems that every week there's something else that's going on in the world of Pokemon. Not that I'm complaining. I'm perfectly fine with this, but I've noticed you, Josh, you're like, I like the Pokemon news, but I need less of it.
Since Sun and Moon has been out, it's a little bit less, but I mean, I'll give it credit because this is 2 weeks of news, so that's fine.
So, with Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the first global mission did fail, unfortunately.
Which is funny, because didn't Sun and Moon's first global mission fail too?
Yeah, and it was a much loftier goal, if I remember correctly.
I'm like, jeez.
And so the first global mission was tasked, the task of it was to capture 10 million Pokemon in the course of, 2 weeks, I believe, and we as Pokemon trainers barely broke 50% with 5,442,088 being captured as those who were registered as players of the global mission. So, though we failed the mission, we still got something out of it. So we ended up getting a consolation prize, which is 1,000 festival coins and 2,000 if your account was linked to the Pokemon Global Link, which, by the way, I highly encourage you guys to do that because you get another free Master Ball come January when you start the game, register GameSync with it, and register it with Pokemon Global Link. So you can get a total of 4 Master Balls if you play across both Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Gotcha. Yeah. Pokemon was recently, too, on Jeopardy for the final Jeopardy question, too.
Oh, God.
Which was... I kind of shook my head a little bit because only one person got the answer right, and he ended up winning for that night. The question was... they stated it like this: desire in this childhood to catch every insect inspired
Satoshi Tajiri
to create this 1996 game, and only one contestant got it right, and it's just Pokemon. You could even say just like Pokemon red or blue or green. Actually,
the correct answer would have been Pokemon Red and Green, because that was the original release in Japan. But Alex Trebek was going to settle for just Pokemon. So.
But
the one guy, he answers Centipede, which makes sense because it's a game that.
Yes.
But see, the thing is, Centipede predates Pokemon by about 16 years.
Yeah, no, it's like really like.
And the other one, this is a game I've never even heard of. Splat. What is that? Like, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, well, obviously you don't play video games. You need to. So, I don't know.
It's probably before my time. It's probably well before my time. And it's probably something that I probably will never come across in any sort of a sphere of realm of possibility.
Oh, well. On to a little bit more Pokemon news. Pokemon Go, there's going to be some big changes coming to Pokemon Go's raid battles. You got EX raid battles will take place most commonly at gyms found in parks and sponsored locations. Trainers with high-level badges are more likely to be invited to these battles taking place at their gym. And trainers who have completed a large number of these raid battles will most likely, be invited to the EX raid battles. And they're going to start in times that are going to be taken into account, popular raid battle times at that gym. So they're going to look at when these times were popular for these battles, and they're going to be like, well, we'll start it around here then. So it'll help to bring people to these battles, so that way you're not the only one there trying to defeat said Pokemon. So, and then all the trainers invited to the EX raid battles will receive an in-game notification, and if it's canceled as well.
You'll get Stardust and premium raid passes if it does get canceled. Trainers will also now receive golden raspberries for completing raid battles. The numbers of potions and revives awarded to trainers for completing a raid battle will decrease slightly, but the quality of the potions will increase. So there's a balance there. The likelihood of receiving fast and charged technical machines for completing Tier 3 or higher raid battle has increased, and trainers will now receive Stardust for participating in a raid battle, whether they win or lose, and Magikarp will make a triumphant return to Tier 1 raid battles. Oh boy.
Woohoo! Yay, Magikarp. Thank you. Alright, but I don't know. So for those still playing Pokemon Go, get in those raid battles. They're gonna be fixing it up, making them a lot nicer to use at least. So
and people are starting to come back to it. Slowly but surely, people are starting to come back to it. But also in other news, and this is actually TCG news, you can, and the video games, you'll actually see the Memphis Regional Championships, which I actually know a guy who's going down there, I think, possibly. They're going to be held on the 16th to the 17th of December. The video game live event will be available to be streamed and watched on twitch.tv/Pokemon, and the TCG event will be on twitch.tv/PokemonTCG. So those are the two spheres that you can kind of get an eye at and see who's the best of the best in the region of Memphis and in the Memphis area and that whole conglomerate area that they have for that. And I think those are like the first couple of the 2018 season of the World Championships, because the 2017 championships were back in August. So, and they hold them on August of every year. So we'll see what happens. They're back into the swing of things. I am nowhere near the caliber necessary to even make it to something like that, let alone go anywhere past it. But it'll be nice to see those.
Yep. On to one last news for Pokemon. They just announced that Catherine Newton will be featured in the upcoming Detective Pikachu film as the female lead. She'll play Lucy, a sassy journalist who has her own sidekick, Psyduck, and Lucy will be going on an adventure with Pikachu and the main male character, who will be played by Justice Smith. So we got a couple of actors that have been announced for these roles. still waiting for my Danny DeVito announcement that he's going to be playing and voicing Pikachu. Please let that happen.
That would be the dream, indeed. But we now have some information about Fire Emblem Heroes version 2.0, even though it is not the most popular game being downloaded from Nintendo on the mobile sphere. But nonetheless, we have a new update for it. So we've got features such as Book 2, the Weapon Refinery, Legendary Hero abilities, expanded barracks, and much more have been added to the game.
And you can actually get a form, which is the Princess of Ice, by clearing Chapter 1, Part 5 of Book 2. You got a bunch of legendary heroes and blessings that have been added. You got added new skills for the weapon type of the staff. Adjusted the cooldown for some of the special skills, and like Chris said, they have expanded the barracks by 100 characters for all users, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to pay for that. So that's nice for helping that out with keeping that app still alive and running well. So good to see that. So.
20% of LA Noir's debut sales in the UK were on the Switch, so the PS4 ended up taking the top share of 51%, which kind of makes sense. It is more of a graphic. The game's a little bit more graphics heavy than people would expect, and then the Xbox One had 26%. So even though it's not the most grossing, again, you have to think how many people have a PS4 in the UK, how many people have an Xbox in the UK. And, the Switch. I mean, the Switch, even though its stock issues have been attended to and they are getting better with it, it's still, it's still kind of difficult to get your hands on one. So, I mean, feasibly considering it's understandable that it's not the most, but it's still impressive that it took 20%.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox One was only at 26%, so I mean, hey, that's not that far off in the grand scheme of things. So, good job, over in the UK there, LA Noir on the Switch. So, and speaking of other sales as well, GameStop has talked in an interview, and they were talking about the positive sales impact of the Switch in their stores as well. So, I mean, the Switch, as they have said, the Switch has experienced continued momentum and helped to drive an 8.8 increase in hardware sales last quarter for the third quarter of the year, and because GameStop actually has leading Switch hardware and software market share in the U.S. and most in the international markets. So I mean, it's good to see that that's helping GameStop out a little bit and keeping their sales going.
And I think part of that can be attributed to the whole fact that they had back, when the Switch was first coming out, they had that situation where you had. They had bundles, and you would get like Breath of the Wild plus the Switch plus I think an accessory or whatever for like X amount of money. I think it was like $450 for like an ultimate package, and then you would get like just the game and the Switch for like the $370 that it normally is at. And I think that's probably what helped most give GameStop that leg up, because I know Best Buy and Target and all that, they were selling the Switches, but they didn't have those bundles that you could technically quote unquote pre-order.
So yeah, good job on them. Good job, GameStop. Glad to see that you guys are keeping the momentum going with the Switch at least.
Now I saw this on Twitter and I couldn't help but laugh, because they literally had to clarify that this was a real thing. So apparently there's a free Sonic, not Sonic, Sonic with an A, t-shirt DLC out now for Sonic Forces.
Why?
Who knows?
This is the problem. They're becoming too. The meme has come alive. The meme is real now. It has gained too much power. It is bad. These Sonic games have become memes now. There is no actual Sonic base now. It's just memes. It's just memes. Have you seen the Sonic Facebook page? It's just all memes.
I don't venture to that corner of the internet for reasons.
They're all
reasons
memes.
Just exactly explained there. I get that they're trying, but memes are not the way.
And make an actual good game. That's not 4 hours long. Come on, Sonic Forces. Really? 4 hours? I can beat you in 4 hours? That is not a game.
I can do that with Cave Story, and Cave Story is still a better game.
Yeah, it's like...
And the only reason I can do it with Cave Story is because I've played it 7 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I know literally every in and out of Cave Story. If I can beat a game that I've never played in 4 hours...
Then you have a fundamental problem with how you're programming said game and making said game.
Or you're also lacking on a lot of content.
Yeah.
But such is the way of... Well, I mean, here you go. Here's the thing. Do they really want to overshadow Sonic Mania, though? Because that's still a Sega thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that is it's like... The reason why they made both of those is because of the fact that they wanted more old school Sonic, and then they wanted to try this with new Sonic stuff. And with this new Sonic stuff, it's... they're trying to make it... So that way everyone can love it. They were trying to make it so you have both 3D and 2D kind of platforming at the same time. A little bit more than Sonic Mania, but
here's the thing.
You're not getting the fan base to love it, unfortunately.
Here's the thing too. Let's be honest here. I mean, 3D Sonic games, sans the first 3, have not performed well. The 2D ones do fine. The 3D ones just don't do well. I think the last game that I really can consider moderately good...
Sonic 06.
That's arguable.
No,
but
it's terrible. There is no argument. It's a terrible game. I'm lying.
I know. I'm playing along. But was Sonic Colors. Really, realistically. That one was okay.
It was okay.
At best.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like 2D Sonic is fine. 2D Sonic works. 2D Sonic should be what they should stick with, honestly. Because this whole experimentation with 3D, they've tried it. How many times now? 7 or 8 times? And none of them have caught on. I think there's a signal that, maybe you should stop trying to make Sonic 3D and competing with Nintendo, which has long had you by the neck.
Mm-hmm. They've already beaten you. You're not going to win. Let Sonic just go back to 2D, what he's good at. So, But speaking of kind of Mario and everything, did you know that there was 3 different drafts of the song of Jump Up Superstar for the English version? So you can find one of these drafts actually on Nintendo's YouTube of someone singing the original translation and stuff, which is pretty interesting actually. It does. I mean, they got elements of the finalized song in it, but it's like, I don't know. It feels a little bit weirder. It's definitely not my Pauline singing.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have caught on. I haven't heard it, but I don't think it would have caught on as good as the version that we have. No. Because I swear to you, every time I hear that song, I just must bust out into a dance or a jig or some sort of something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and based on the feedback that Nintendo provided while looking at like these 3 drafts, they said that they wanted the localized version of the song to be cut down on the Mario reference because it should be fun, bombastic jazz that a number that everyone can enjoy, that even if they didn't have a connection or familiarity to Mario, but would reward you even more with a little bit of allusions to the Mario universe. Even if you are a Mario fan, so they're like, we want to make a song that's catchy and that everyone can sing along to and dance along to, and that you don't have to get the references. It doesn't have to be reference heavy, but for those that are Mario fans, you can enjoy the quick little nods to the Mario series. So pretty interesting that they actually kind of wanted to take it down on the references and actually kind of make it open up, which is, I don't know, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So, Splatoon 2, version 2.0.0. It removed the great sapfish!
We ended up getting the update of 2.0, and for those who completed the story and got the great sapfish back, he kind of...
I can't believe I missed that! I would have loved to see that!
Yeah, he actually disappeared. I don't know how something like that happens. Someone messed up. We're at 2.0.1 right now, and they put him back.
He's back. They found him.
They found him. I don't know.
He took a vacation. He took a vacation. He took a Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what he did.
Yeah, no, I guess so. So I mean, I don't know, but he's back now and he's providing power to Inkopolis Square. So good job, programmers, with losing him. I guess I don't know. I don't know how you lose a big fish like that.
All right, I will run through these real quick, and then you'll run through the next point real quick. So, we've got some changes with the update. So there's 5 new songs that you can play that'll be playing during battles. The max rank has increased from 50 to 99. There's an ability now that after you reach level 99, you can return back to level 1 and start leveling up all over again. But players who choose to start from level 1 again will have a star icon displayed next to their rank. Oh boy! Prestiging!
Yeah, so basically just New Game Plus in terms of playing online, which is pretty cool because I mean that it shows the people that have put in the dedicated hours, and then as long as you have that person on your team, you're pretty much set because that person is pretty much living Splatoon.
Yeah, they don't do anything else. They just do Splatoon.
Yeah,
they are literally Splat Tim. He does it.
Oh, jeez.
So we've also added the ability to change gear and to continue after finishing regular battles, ranked battles, and solo Splatfest battles. Finally, that's nice.
They had that in the original Splatoon. I don't know why they didn't bring that over, didn't they?
No, that was never in the original Splatoon. You couldn't change gear between matches. You would have to.
Oh yeah, you're right. You
would have to exit to the lobby, change, and then go back in.
Yep, you're right. So.
Now you can do it while you're still in there. So that's good. That's great. I'm pleased with that. There's an ability to choose the new stage, Salmonid Smokeyard, when playing the shoal. At the shoal for Salmon Run, and then Crust Bucket will have new food to offer following Splatoon 2 update, and one meal that will offer 2.5 times the experience. So that'll be quick for those people who are like grinding for leveling up and getting all those weapons and all those perks that come with ranking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have in December 2 coming up here soon. Splatoon is going to be added. Clam Blitz is what it's called. It's a new mode where players will compete to collect clams scattered across the stage. The clam will follow the player after they pick it up, and you'll need to throw the clam into the basket near the opponent's base. And the first team to score 100 points wins. However, you'll need to break a barrier by first collecting 10 clams and earning a power clam. So it's definitely a new mode that they're continuing with this game. So
I'm excited to see what that's all about. I'll probably hop on and give that a try at some point.
Glad to see that they're able to keep adding in new modes to these games and keep it, as they say, fresh. So
air quotes.
Yeah. So
I honestly might hop on tonight and play. I haven't played in a while. So
yeah. Definitely. And Nintendo actually has shared a little bit of the Splatoon 2 new music. It's from their band they call Ink Theory, so that's cool. And we have a little bit of reveal with the art book that they have over in Japan. We now know the ages of Pearl and Marina. And Pearl is actually 21 years old and Marina is 18, so the more you know. I don't know why they need to say that, but, well, the more you know.
I mean, sure. That's fine.
Okay.
I guess. Sure. Let's go with that. So, Shovel Knight is going to support video capture on the Switch with the future update, and we'll likely be seeing it when King of Cards launches in 2018. So, King Knight and all that is going to be nice, and we'll see some video capturing. So, Zelda Symphony news, which, this is nice. You want to talk about that, Josh?
Yep. So the producer has created a proposal for the a Mario Symphony, which is pretty cool. He did earlier in the year say that he wanted to make a Nintendo All-Stars concert, but he says that that or like a Smash Bros. Symphony would be just too complicated, which I completely disagree with. It is not that hard to grab the best songs from all these different games and just put them into a concert. It is not that hard.
Just use, here's a great
Kondo's
thing.
right there.
Here's the thing. Super Smash Brothers. There's a thing called, the Super Smash Brothers CD that I have in my car that has two CDs with 36 songs on each of them. One's from the Wii U version, one's from the 3DS version. Do something like that.
You just get the best games or the best songs from each of these franchises. Obviously, you do the Mario theme, you do the Zelda theme, you do the Kirby, you do a Kirby theme, you do Donkey Kong, you know, you do some Pokemon, you band it all together, you put it in different parts. It's not that hard. I completely disagree with you, sir, and I want my Smash Bros. Symphony. I want them. I'd be happy if you just started out and said, okay, let's do a Mario Symphony. That'd be fine. I'd be happy with that. That'd be really cool. I'd go and see that. That'd be cool. You know, we already have a Zelda Symphony. We already have a Pokemon Symphony. You know, I'm surprised Mario was not the first one.
Are you? Did you end up finally getting the tickets for the Pokemon Symphony?
Yeah, I have those. So
awesome.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get the details for that figured out.
But it's like, you know what? You have all these symphonies. You know, it's not that hard just to take a little bit of, music from this one, take another music from that one, and just combine them all.
Wing
together.
bang boom.
It's not that hard. And then I will go. Please. I want this to happen. Don't say it's too complicated. I will help you. I will leave my home. I will follow you. I will help you make it. Please. But
alrighty.
Anyhow.
So, I do have a question because I don't know how I'm supposed to read this. I'm going to read this the way that my mind first brought it out. Galstar Gun 2, releasing spring 2018 in November in North America and Europe. I don't know why North America turned into November, but okay.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out spring 2018.
So there's a new army of more than 70 girls that have been overpowered by lust, and you've got 30 days to survive their advances and put things... What is this?
It's a weird game that is a cult following on the PS4, and it's actually coming out with a second game on the Switch, and you gotta fend off legions of ladies with your pheromone shot and use a crazy gadgets to expel demons from their body, and the most audacious first-person shooter you'll ever play. You're asking me, why is this a thing? Because there are weeaboos out there. We love you weeaboos, but you have weird tendencies, and you have weird games, such as this game, which is...
I don't get this.
This is what you'll get for your birthday next year, Chris. This is what I'll get you for your birthday.
Oh my god.
You want Gale Gun 2. I know you do.
No.
Yes.
No. No, I want an actual video game with actual content, with actual story.
It's a cult following game. You have the weeaboos that love shooting at their...
I just don't get this.
They have their waifus. Don't question it. Don't question it.
I'm trying not to, but it's really hard.
Don't worry, I'm shaking my head too. So.
Okay, so let's move on to another less odd topic. Well, odd is a relative term because this guy has way too much time on his hands. So, and I'm actually looking at this right now in like so small font, but so apparently this guy, Reddit user Taifui, has put together a handy chart of over 50 titles that were put to the test of like battery life on the Switch based on brightness and Wi-Fi. So, there's 4 bars on this, and there's a couple different things that he tested. The first thing was low brightness airplane mode, or quote unquote Wi-Fi off. Low brightness Wi-Fi, max brightness airplane mode, and max brightness Wi-Fi. So, what?
Which oddly enough, if we look at this graph, Monopoly can end up using more battery life than Breath of the Wild, which I find...
How?
Which I'm like, Monopoly, man, are you taking more than just my money? You're taking my battery life too? Jeez, I'm just,
Okay, so here, I will read a few off. Let's see. The lowest game, the game that is the most power hungry across the board, is Fast RMX. Slightly better is Super Mario Odyssey, about 5 places up. And then it goes Super Mario Odyssey, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Monopoly, Zelda, Doom, and then you skip a spot, then you got Pokken. You skip like 5, there's Splatoon. I'm like picking out the big ones. Sonic Forces is about 10 higher than that. Gear Club Unlimited, which is a game that I'm incredibly interested in getting. That's 1 above that.
And then kind of coming from the top, the biggest one that's the most power hungry, it's Decima 5 Complete, Going down a little bit, you got Blaster Master Zero. Going down from that, Sonic Mania actually is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th or 9th on the list right there. So Sonic
and then Stardew Valley is just slightly below that.
Yeah.
So, and I do want to. So the bottom of the list, so the most power hungry is Fast RMX. The top of the list, the least power hungry, is the Sage EF5 Complete.
Yep. Yeah. So.
That's pretty interesting. It's nice that we have, a quote-unquote comprehensive-ish list of, the most popular games on the Switch that are, how power hungry they are.
So, I mean, which is funny because Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 actually is third from the bottom, so it's the third most power hungry, which is crazy.
Man, you better not be using them spirit bombs too much. You might drain your battery on your Switch.
Yeah, I know. I've been playing a lot of that, so
I
can definitely tell that it is. I can definitely tell that it is pretty power hungry. So.
And I just got a text from Noah. Unfortunately, he's not feeling too good, so he won't be joining us. I kind of figured that was going on, but it's okay. I think we only really have 1 or 2 more shows this semester, and then we'll be taking a break for Christmas, and then we'll be back in January-ish area.
So, on to another topic here. We got some more news from the Super Mario World that's going to be happening down in Universal down in Florida, probably coming out here in 2020 in about 3 years. It'll be about 3 years to finish building everything. We actually have like dimensions and size of said park. They said the theme park is going to be 8.8 acres in size and is planned to be built behind the Simpsons land at Universal. So if you know where that is, it's going to be right over there. And then they confirmed that there will be a Donkey Kong section in addition to a Mario Kart section, with the former taking up 4.7 acres and the latter taking up 1.76 acres, leaving 2.4 acres left up for whatever they're going to put, whether it be food or whether it be other sort of attractions and stuff in terms, a shop probably. So that'll be interesting in terms of what they're going to be planning for Super Mario World.
I just had a brilliant idea: an arcade featuring just Nintendo cabinets.
That would be pretty cool.
That idea just popped into my head.
I'm excited for what they might be doing with this Donkey Kong section. I'm thinking what they should do is it's going to be like their cave levels where you're in the minecart. You're going to be in a minecart going through a Donkey Kong.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be pretty cool doing that. If they had a roller coaster like that, I'd be the first in line for that.
So, and of course we know what the Mario Kart section is going to look like. It's probably going to be a 1.76 acre just a track.
Yeah.
Which I think would be kind of cool, and if they do model the carts after the standard carts in Mario Kart, that would be pretty cool too to see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to do that.
Oh, definitely. So
that's Vacation 2020.
Well, yeah, you got that, and then Disney at that time during 2020 will also have Star Wars Land finished and Marvel Land finished. So it's a
2-week vacation.
Definitely, 2020 is the year for every nerd going down in the United States, going down to Florida and just living off the land until you can get into the park, basically. The great nerd migration will be happening in 2020.
Yeah.
So Breath of the Wild actually won Ultimate Game of the Year at the Joystick Awards here in 2017.
So that I kind of figured that was kind of a thing, and I'm gonna kind of go through this real quick. We'll go through Best Storytelling, Horizon Zero Dawn; Best Visual Design, Cuphead; Best Audio, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild; Best Indie Game in collaboration with Square Enix Collective, Friday the 13th the Game; Best Multiplayer Game sponsored by GT Omega; PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds; Studio of the Year, Nintendo EPD; Esports Game of the Year sponsored by Omen by HP; Overwatch; Best Streamer Broadcaster, Markiplier; Handheld Mobile Game of the Year sponsored by Bespoke Arcades, Pokemon Sun and Moon; Nintendo Game of the Year, Breath of the Wild; PlayStation Game of the Year, Horizon Zero Dawn; Xbox Game of the Year, Cuphead; PC Game of the Year, PUBG; Critics' Choice Award, Breath of the Wild, Hall of Fame, Final Fantasy, Most Wanted Award, The Last of Us Part 2, Still Playing Award, World of Tanks, and Ultimate Game of the Year, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
So, which I kind of find funny for the Xbox Game of the Year being Cuphead. I'm like, that's not a game that's specifically made for Xbox. I'm like, well, if your game, if your game of the year is something that is a multi-platform game, then you have a problem, Xbox. You do not have a game that is yours specifically. This is why PS4 has done so much better than you, is because they have these said games. They have these games that are these singulators that are only for exclusively for PS4, and that's why you have that's why PS4's Game of the Year is not Cuphead. It's actually a decent game, Horizon Zero Dawn. So, But congratulations to all those for the Golden Joystick Awards. I was surprised on this list that Odyssey did not make anything for it, but I mean,
on the other side, it's like it's not been out for very long. Nobody's really had a chance to get at it, so
I have a feeling for next year you might see a lot more of like people saying that Odyssey,
because if you think about it, Pokemon Sun and Moon was 2 years ago now, so
exactly. So I mean that's something that
or did it release in 2016? I can't remember. Either way, it doesn't matter.
That was about
that's an aside in and of itself.
So we'll be kind of one more topic here that we'll be talking before we take our break. Super Meat Boy, they've been talking about this for a while on the Switch. They're still planning for a December release, and they claim that it will have something special in addition to it. The Team Meat also brought up the possibility of a physical version. The developers have heard fans on that front and said they are quote-unquote working on it. So we'll see about that. Super Meat Boy is something that everyone's been waiting for it to come out on the Switch, so definitely something to look forward to coming here in December at some point. So. Yep.
And once again, I do apologize. I still haven't been able to find. I've also been really busy, so I haven't been able to find that drop. So I think, Josh, you're going to take away and do the station identification today when we get back from our Michigan Journal break. But I'll do this really quick. Did you go through this point about the rumor?
No, not yet.
Okay, so internal EA emails mentioned January Nintendo Direct, February 28 release for FE. What is FE?
That's an actual game. That's just the name of a game. It's more of a Japanese type game, but
so who knows what's going to happen?
Made by EA, so who knows what if this internal email is actually true by EA. So maybe we'll be getting a January Direct, but if that's true, we will be talking about it here on the show in January. So looking forward to possibly that. So.
Alrighty, so we're going to take a break for our Michigan Journal drop, and as soon as we come back from that, we'll be getting through the rest of our show. So we will be back momentarily, folks. Just hang tight and be patient.
You are listening to Radio WUMD, Nintenbros at 9, featuring Chris Thompson, Josh Anonic, and Noah McGuire.
Alrighty, good job with that, man. That was a good drop. So, let's launch back into our topics for the remainder of the show. Let me turn the MP3 back on so we have some music. I turned that off so we didn't get an accidental bleed.
So, on to something I'm looking forward to eating a lot of. Nintendo has actually partnered with Kellogg's, funny enough, and we're going to be seeing a Super Mario cereal coming out here. It's going to be kind of in the style of Super Mario Odyssey for the box art, and the box is actually going to function as an amiibo accessory, making breakfast a more playful experience. So,
and that'll be hitting store shelves across the U.S. as early as December 11th.
Yep, it's going to be kind of cereal that's going to have oat pieces with colored marshmallow shapes, including superstars, super mushrooms, one-up mushrooms, and question blocks. So, pretty cool to see that as a thing. And the amiibo's actually going to be able to give you some gold coins and hearts in Odyssey. So nothing that a normal amiibo won't do, but even still, it's very interesting that we're actually seeing an amiibo as a cereal box. I mean, I'm gonna have to catch them all, so I'm gonna have to buy like 5 boxes.
Yeah, you'll have to get 5 boxes. 1 to eat, 1 to store, 1 to not touch, 1 to use, and 1 to like to give away to your good friend that's talking right now.
Yeah, we'll see. So. And sadly enough, though, over in the UK, Kellogg's UK said the Super Mario cereal may only be sold in the US. So, I mean, this is a thing that I'm really surprised with. We haven't heard anything about it coming out in Japan. We haven't heard anything about it anywhere else.
It's like just a US thing. But then again, Kellogg's really in Japan or in Asia or, in Africa? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I don't think so.
So, I mean, hey, good job, Kellogg's. I'm glad that a Michigan-based company is actually working with the Big N. It kind of gives me a little bit of pride. So
yeah, it's only like an hour. It's like a 2-hour drive, and we can like be on Kellogg's doorstep,
knocking on their door, saying, "Give me my cereal. Give me my Nintendo." I might have to go do that. We'll see.
Alrighty, so here we go. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 reviews roundup. And Noah, if you're listening, I'm looking forward to reading your review of Xenoblade 2. So hopefully that'll be coming pretty soon. I'll have to get the link and everything from you. So that'll be fun. So IGN gave it an 8.5 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. GamesBeat 82 out of 100. GameXplain loved it. Nintendo World Report 9.5. Nintendo Life 9 out of 10. US Gamer 4.5 out of 5. Destructoid 8 out of 10. Eurogamer recommended. So it's overall a pretty good game. I haven't really read a lot of reviews for it, but from what I've seen, Noah playing his review copy, he seems to enjoy it. It looks like it's a fun game. It might be something that I might pick up, but I didn't really play Xenoblade 1, so I'm gonna have to probably figure out how to get a version of Xenoblade, probably on the 3DS or something at some point, play that, and then get Xenoblade 2. Mm-hmm.
So,
if I can find the time.
Yeah.
Because you know how I am.
Yep. Well, with Capcom 2, some new news. They're actually going to be holding a 30th anniversary Mega Man stream on December 4th. That's going to be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on their Twitch. So, who knows what they might be showing. They might be releasing another game. We haven't really seen a lot of Mega Man love other than like Smash Bros. Within the last couple of years. So, who knows? They might be talk about another game coming out or some, because they had the Mega Man collection just come out, so I mean we might see something new coming out of the stream. So they haven't really said much other than come watch at on December 4th. So that'll be coming up here soon. So
that's good. So we've got ARMS with some new updates. We got Party Crash 2 beginning on December 8th. So Ninjara will be going up against Min Min. Martial Arts Mashup is the name of the theme that this Party Crash is going to be around, and you'll be able to play on Party Crash until December 11th. So this is very much like a Splatoon Splatfest-esque type of a thing that's going on to kind of drum up ARMS interest, which is nice. I like that.
Good to see that. We have the new updated version out, which is 4.1.0, and you got Springtron available. Be able to play him. He was brought out as a boss character as part of one of the other updates for October, but now he's playable. So, and they've also, with this update, put new badges added into there. You got added badges that are locked via specific fighter arms combinations, and added badges that are unlocked by fulfilling certain conditions on stages with environmental gimmicks. So, something to do in ARMS. They're adding a lot more stuff, kind of keeping it lively and keeping the people playing. So I'm glad on that they're still keeping that a thing.
Minecraft is going to be getting a new cross-platform play and graphics update in 2018, so we'll finally be able to play, your Xbox buddies, your PlayStation buddies, your PC buddies, and your Switch buddies are all going to be able to play on the same server at the same time, which is going to be nice. It's really nice to finally see that,
just because you have a different system doesn't mean you can't play with your friends with a different console.
And really, realistically, honestly, I'm surprised that this has not been a thing for longer. You know what I mean? Because Minecraft has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that it's just now starting to get cross-platform capabilities. And it's on literally everything. You've got it on mobile, you've got it on Nintendo systems, you've got it on 3DS. It's on the 3DS.
So, I mean...
Like, if you could put it on the 3DS, I'm pretty sure you could finagle some cross-platform play in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
that's a story for another time.
We have Adobe Digital actually tracked on Black Friday over 4,500 retail websites and over 55 million different products. And guess which was the number one sold electronic product for Black Friday?
Oh, it wouldn't be the Switch, would it?
Oh, yes, it would, sir.
Oh my goodness! Holy crap! That's amazing.
That's pretty funny. I'm glad that it's still doing well.
Oh yeah,
it's number one.
And really, we saw this coming. Honestly, like if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you wouldn't have seen this coming. But like anybody who's been paying any semblance of to the outside world, that is very clearly something that was foreshadowed from the release. It's been foreshadowed from the beginning of the year. It's been foreshadowed since, well, basically since the Switch has come out. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of knew from the beginning of this year that this is going to be, this console is going to sell great. So, definitely something that if you don't have, pick it up now, because everyone's getting it now. So, speaking of kind of online shops, the top 3 bestsellers games on Amazon are actually Switch titles, which is pretty funny. You have Super Mario Odyssey actually being the best-selling one, Mario Kart 8 is second, and third is Breath of the Wild for the Switch, which I'm like, well, hey, good job, Nintendo, this year you're selling the most amount of video games on Amazon, so hey.
Now, before I make this disclaimer, are these in order, or are these...
Yes.
They are in order?
Yes.
Okay, so... rounding out the top 10, number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn, number 5 is Splatoon 2, number 6 is Call of Duty World War II for the PlayStation 4, Call of Duty World War II for the Xbox One is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Mario, Breath of the Wild Wii U is 8th, Uncharted The Lost Legacy on the PlayStation 4 is 9th, and Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle rounds out the top 10. So that's pretty interesting. It's like, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Nintendo titles on Amazon's best-selling list. So that's very clearly a signal that, you know, Nintendo is very much not dead, and Nintendo very much understands what they misstepped on in the past 5 years and are definitely working their hardest to fix that.
No, good old Big N. We knew this was happening. I'm glad it's a thing. I'm glad the Big N is back where they belong, back on top, and selling a lot of consoles, selling a lot of games. Good job.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that I kind of find that I like Nintendo the most about is that, you know, they can have missteps, but they also understand how to make a quality game.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike, you know, certain things that shall not be named.
EA.
You know, it's just like you gotta understand that Nintendo will always do well because they know how to put a quality product out, because they know how to, you know, take the time and actually invest in making it a good quality product. So I mean that's just my personal opinion on it, and it is what it is. Somebody can argue with me about something and say something else, but that's what I think. That's my personal opinion on it. So I'm going to round up the last couple minutes of the show, kind of talking about what's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we're getting to the point where it's almost the end of the semester here, and we probably got 1 or 2 more shows before we take a break for Christmas over here, and then probably the break for being away from the campus, and then we'll probably be coming back first couple of weeks of January. Rumor has it the show that used to be before us at 8 a.m. is going to be stepping down and releasing that time slot, and we have the opportunity that now that we are no longer a first semester starting show, we have the opportunity that we can extend our show time from 1 hour to 2 hours, and we might snab up that 8 a.m. time slot and run from 8 to 10. We'll see, we'll talk, and we'll discuss that, and we'll figure out what we want to do, but we will good thing is, with my schedule for next semester with classes, Friday is open once again, so we'll be able to continue doing the show this time at the very least next semester. So that's something to look forward to, and we're probably going to be doing 1 or 2 more shows, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and it'll be the new year, and it'll be 2018, and we'll have a lot of Nintendo news to talk about, and we'll be goofing off and doing whatever it is that we do.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Something great to look forward to here in the new future, so glad we can be here for an hour, but 2 hours we can talk even more. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, we can get more news in. Yes! And we might even be able to do some segments that'll be like more audience involved potentially, or something like that. I might host like Facebook polls or something, or you might, come in, and then Noah and I, or you and I can do, or I can run a game, and you and Noah can go against each other, Josh, and we can do something like that, and whoever wins is representative person, and person gets a prize.
Yeah.
Something like that. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about that too. And, I think we mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but I'll mention it one more time. The show from 2 weeks ago is going to be going up hopefully sometime soon. With any luck, when we get back to our homes, we'll have that all set, and that'll be up and live, so you'll be able to catch that from 2 weeks ago. And I think that's about it. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, Josh?
Nope, all good.
Alrighty, well, on that note then, thank you so much for listening in, everybody. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm Josh.
And Noah's somewhere in the area. And we are the Nintenbros. Remember to game on.